everyone, I'm Amy, and today I'll be showing one of my projects that I just recently did. It's called Touching the Window, and yeah, I'll show a quick demo video of it. Yeah, so as you can see here, it's kind of taking your hand gesture as an input, and it's controlling volume of different music, different audio. Okay, so what is this? An interactive installation that active sounds through conductive surface. And here I'm using a conductive surface of a print that I printed with screen printing. Yeah, and it's kind of like a capacitive sensor. So how does it work? I make some ink that's conductive by mixing graphite powder and regular screen printing ink, and I print it on paper and as well as canvas. And that will turn, and connecting that to an Arduino with some resistors, and it will turn to a capacitive sensor that can sense our human fingers and bodies. And it's very interesting. You don't even need to touch it. You can just feel it at a distance, and it can have data output that you can manipulate and turn to things that you like to do. So yeah, connects to Arduino and then TouchDesigner to control audio. I have 5 different audio: piano sound, a clock ticking sound, raindrop, and some other audios that I collected. I just recorded them outside. Okay, so about making the conductive ink, it's actually easier than a lot of people would think. You only need 3 ingredients, and that each one of them could be replaced by other things. You need first a solvent, that's usually a water or some kind of things that controls how thick you want the ink to be. Second, you want a binder that sticks your print onto your surface. So here I'm using a regular screen printing ink as well as some white glue. And lastly, you want some conductive particles to make your print conductive. Here I'm using graphite powder. It's very cheap. You can also use silver powder. It's more expensive, but I heard it'll have better conductivity. Okay, so some experimentation and iteration. So at first, I just added some graphite powder into my ink, and I painted them onto a piece of paper. And surprisingly, it's conductive. It works really well. And then next, I used that ink, and I tried to print on some paper using these kind of different images, where I just tape the image out and try to print it over. Surprisingly, this version didn't work at all, although I'm using the same ink. And the issue was the ink was not thick enough, and it cannot create that conductive field. Yeah. So, and I switched to another type of screen printed board screens, and from a 300 to a 150, which means larger particles can go through. And by doing that, I made some prints that are conductive. And lastly, using regular screen printing steps. For example, you have the image and you expose it on a screen, and you wash the motions away, and then now you can print any images that you want. So yeah, that's how I made the printed images. And for the project setups, there are mainly 4 components. The first is the prints that I put up on the wall. And second are the cables that connects with the prints behind them. And it all goes back together and then underneath and connects to an Arduino. The Arduino then connects to a TouchDesigner, which will process the data and control the output of the audio. And lastly, a speaker that will output the audios as well. Yeah, so this is TouchDesigner. It's very easy to control the data that comes from the Arduino with the TouchDesigner. And some of the future improvements I want to make are better signifier for users to look at it and then think that, oh, I can touch it instead of just looking at it as a regular print. And yeah, human touch makes the image blurry sometimes and also needs a lot of recalibration and better audio. Okay, so that's all for my presentation today. Here are some references, and thank you for listening. Okay. Wait a second. I'm just gonna show. I bring one part of my prints here today. So it's like this. Yeah. So as you can see, it's very tangible. You can bring it anywhere. And how I did it, I just poked the cable behind it, and then it will connect to this cable. And when you touch it, it's kind of like a sensor now. So basically making your own capacitive sensor with Arduino and this. Yeah, feel free to look at it afterwards. Okay, questions?
Can you tell us about this image that you chose to use as the sensor?
Yeah, so the image I choose, it's more of a artistic choice. So it's an image that I took outside of my window when it was during like 2020, during COVID, and it was like, I came to Canada 2019, and I was back in high school, and the first like semester I got here, COVID hit, and then I ended up staying at home for like over half a year, and this piece was just trying to capture like, oh, the memory and how I feel like if I can go back in time, maybe I'll do something different, be more active instead of I staying in my home for 6 months straight and not going out. Yeah, so that's the inspiration for this piece. Oh, I also printed another layer of text and code and Chinese on top of it to make it more visually appealing. You can see it from this piece if you want to check it out later. Thank you. Yeah.
First, super cool project. That's awesome. I love the idea of having the conductive ink on fabric and having that be able to be flexible. Could you speak more though about how you said that it's able to detect even before you touch it?
Yes. Like, so how this capacitive sensor works is that it makes your finger as it sends the electric field from your finger, and it's sensing the changes of the magnitude of the electric field. So it doesn't need you to touch it directly. It just needs that it's like static electricity. Before you even touches it, it can sense it a little bit. So it's really cool that you can just do this, and then to control a volume. That's what I did for my project, control the audio.
That was what I was going to ask. Is it then like an analog input that you're able to get from it? And how sensitive is that? And does it change based on where you touch it?
For my prints, I think it doesn't matter where I touch it. For example, here you can see is where I connected cables. But even if I touch it here or here, I think the data is it's basically the same. So that means maybe the particles is conductive enough for me to sense it. Yeah.
And you can get an analog signal.
Yeah, you'll get an analog signal. And how I did it was I just programmed something that say, oh, if the data exceeds 600, then you'll turn the volume to 1. And yeah, if it's 20, it's 0. Yeah, so between that range, and just inside TouchDesigner, use the mass chop and do it, and connects it.
Noisy signal or pretty clean?
It's very, very clean. I think when I'm not touching it, it's 0 to 20-ish. When I touch it, sometimes 600 or 1,200. And if I'm doing it, it's going up to 200. So pretty clean. But also you need a lot of recalibration sometimes, depending on how good you connect the cables, because there are also other conductive things that could mess up the data. Yeah. Okay.
Have you thought of making a really large print?
Pardon?
Have you thought of making a really large print?
Really large print?
Because I think you can make it react to just an idea, make it react to your full body proximity as opposed to reaching out.
Yeah.
Just wondering if that creates an internal resistance because of lots of material, but
During my research, I also saw that people use it for large wall paintings and using that conductive paint for interactive wall drawings. But I don't know if we can use yeah, I think using our body could be it, but I haven't tried with that. That sounds really interesting. Yes, I would want to print a larger print. That's more fun. Yeah, mermaid.
In terms like the fabric or texture, have you considered something like thinner, like silk?
Silk?
Yeah, or something. I don't know. I'm just thinking visually, this could be like interacting like with wind or something.
Yeah.
Like even before touch it, like and how the lingering of it, like we make a change with it. Rather, I feel like this is really solid texture.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think whatever interface that you can print on with regular screen printing, you can probably print it on with this paints as well. For my project, I did, so this is like a canvas. And I also did regular, like the hard paper, as well as newsprint paper that's much more softer. So yeah, this is basically, it's like fabric-ish. So it would be cool if we can make more things with it. And I think there are a lot of people in HCI using it for like interactive clothes or wearable or tangible media and stuff. And yeah, it's very interesting. Okay.
Is that cool if you could like light up if someone had to?
So yeah, how big is this circuit, this specific one you made?
The specific one that I made?
Circuit for this, for this painting. How big is your Arduino and the whole setup?
So in the middle is the canvas thing, and the canvas is like this big.
Yeah, and the wiring, how big? Just I'm curious, like if you have to make this into wearable fabric.
In fabric?
If you have to make this into wearable clothes, like
Mhm.
how big is the circuit? And I'm just curious.
How big?
Like
Like for the
the wiring
hardware and the
behind it, the
wiring.
Arduino circuit and all.
The Arduino is just like a small Arduino. I connected also to TouchDesigner because I was having some problem connecting it directly to a speaker with Arduino. I need to have like more modules adding onto it, so I just used TouchDesigner instead. TouchDesigner is very great, it's very flexible. Yeah, Arduino would be very small, but I'm guessing you can put it behind, hiding it somewhere in the back. Yeah. You can also use conductive threads for conductive materials, and that's also
I guess you just used the ADC from the Arduino. You didn't have to have like a breakout circuit to interface between the two.
breakout.
So just use the Arduino.
I think.
Yeah, and I was also thinking maybe like a Raspberry Pi would let it mount it.
So this is this extra slide I have for the circuits. It's very easy. You basically have a send pin and a receiver pin and a resistor. And the send pin is where we'll have here, and it connects to the conductive material. And you have a 1 mega resistor here. And then it has a receiver pin that receives the data. And it's very easy. It's just 3 components to make that capacitive sensor. Okay,
Awesome.
thank you.
Thank you very much, Amy. We're gonna take another couple of minutes. And we're gonna have Jason up next. See you. See you in a few. a seat. Whenever you're ready, Jason.
Yeah. Give me a second.
Sorry.
Hi everyone, I'm Jason. I've been doing TouchDesigner projects and I've just learned about it in 2023. I graduated from UBC with a visual arts degree last year, and ever since I've been doing different kind of installation works using TouchDesigner, the Connect, VR, and I started with MediaPipe. What I love about TouchDesigner is it can interact with so many different things, and things that may seem familiar but reinvented in different ways. In particular, old gaming technology. In this last few months, I've been part of a dance and XR workshop that combines creative technologists with dancers called NewWorks XR. Andy was there, and Mermaid was there, and Jay was there, and that's where we met. And we got to work with dancers and using different kinds of technologies and learning how other project installations use capture technologies such as VR or the Kinect in their different performances. What I have shown to you today is one of those projects that that I got inspired by to work on. So this is the project. I posted a version of this project on my Instagram, and it connects to the headset, but for now it uses the Kinect, and you're able to see yourself in different ways using point clouds. And how you can interact with it is by dance and using this dance pad that I have brought to you today. So when people see themselves in the Kinect, they can use this dance pad to then interact with the different cameras and the different things they see themselves with. This project was just to show what kind of different technologies can be used with this, with the sensors and the visuals that I wanted to create. Eventually, I was able to work with an actual dancer who was able to work with me to create a performance. This dancer she's called Maya, and Maya helped me create this one performance that was backed with a song. She invited me onto this project actually just after the NewWorks XR project ended. And in that project, we created a dance performance I will show here. So this uses point clouds to create a generative visual, and she performed this live just last Saturday. I wish I had the video, but I was too nervous about the whole project to actually film it and record it, but there is a video out there. I will post it. And is there audio on this thing, Johnny? Or not?
You sending it out?
On the HDMI?
Yeah, check your output.
Sure.
You should have it.
Is it this one?
Yeah, try that.
Oh, not too loud.
You good? Is it playing? Okay. Okay, maybe
That's not the one?
oh, maybe try the Realtek 2.
So I won't blast the audio too hard. But the idea of the audio this project was to create audio reactive visuals using point clouds and the Kinect in a way that would help create a background with visuals for this dancer I was working with. What was really fun about this project was just like getting the idea out within a month and trying to actually perform something and create something as like a backing track. What was super interesting but also difficult was like the collaboration process, which was ideas that the dancer had in mind but translating them within TouchDesigner. I would say I'm pretty good at understanding TouchDesigner, but sometimes there's limitations with the project that you can't do everything within scope, but you try to get as close as possible. So yeah, it was really fun to work on this, but I think What? Well, you can just watch it for now. The song was chosen by the dancer herself, and it was really unique to actually go there and set up and install work at this venue here in Vancouver. There was like DJs and different other performances. We were the only ones with a projector, so that was really fun to see stuff up there. And yeah, we'll see it go through a couple different phases. I've done this through like a timer chop. So at certain minutes and checkpoints within the program, it changes different shapes of the positions of these point clouds, using pop operators and different kind of noise to change the effect of the shape of the pop operators. And then hopefully this works. And then that's just me. I'm not dancing though, that's too bad. And there's this project I did for Waves. Waves was a long time coming for me because I've kept asking for Waves for the last 6 months. And finally, everyone decided that Waves was the prompt for March. This uses an ESP32, which connects through OSC. And let me see this here. Sometimes works. But what I've done here was create a microcontroller, program this. This is, wait a minute. Oh, sorry. There you go. There's a screen on this that controls what's going on with this TouchDesigner program. Oops. Sometimes it freezes, but that's okay. Should it? No, I think oh, it's back, it's back, it's back, it's back. So this uses, I followed a tutorial that originally used SOPs, but then I was like, I wanted to use POPs. POP operators, if you don't know, are like the better version of the SOPs. This is how I imagine them to be. Maybe there's a better technical definition of them, but you can instance way more kind of complex geometries using these point clouds. And then what I did was just instance different things. This one's just a regular normal map facet grid. This is just connectivity. This is my favorite one. This is the Microsoft icons, of course. And what was really cool about this controller is that one, it's pretty much wireless. It just runs off a mobile hotspot off my laptop. I've seen OSC networks using routers and stuff, but I don't have one. So what I did was just pop it off my laptop and use the Wi-Fi generally. And what was interesting was that I don't have a coding background, but what I did was look at the different GitHub repositories for different Wi-Fi OSC stuff and kind of vibe coded my way into this, but it was a learning experience, and it was really cool to see this and film it in VR so people can see the projection while the controller is actually controlling it live. And yeah, that was an experience. So that's all the projects I've worked on. Thank you. Yes, Amy.
Or how does the input of this dancing connects to TouchDesigner?
Yeah,
It
this
takes us 8 different
directions, and there's 16 different buttons. For this project, I only used, let's just, let's go back. And close that, open this, open that.
Is it currently connected to your computer?
Yes, yes.
Can
So,
you step on it?
yeah. Greg, can you step on? Just up, right, left, and down. Well, let's see.
Does it just pan at certain?
Yeah, it pans and changes the color. Press up, and you'll see me. And then,
Up is a different color.
yeah, and then what's really cool about the 3D camera and point clouds is that many people don't realize like what a 3D camera is. So this is a great interaction of like getting people to like help move the real-time visuals. I brought this to a house party one time, and for the visuals for my friend who was DJing it, and it was really cool seeing people like saying, "Oh my God, it's a dance pad! Oh my God, it's me up on the screen!" And then seeing their interaction was super like enjoyable and fun to see people actually experiencing and experimenting with this project, and also learning stuff from the NewWorks XR program. So yeah, I love using different inputs and other things.
Do I see your hand gesture affecting light or something?
Ah.
Something lit up when you...
There's just these point boxes, and I instanced myself 4 or 5 times around. And it also works in VR, but I don't have that set up right now. But I'll set it up after so people can try it out. Yes?
Is that the original Kinect, and what technology does it use to get the depth?
Yeah, this is a Kinect V2. This came out with the Xbox One, I think in 2013. And you can find these around for pretty cheap. Johnny lent me his adapter, but I bought my own Kinect, so thank you, Johnny, for that. I've been using it in different kind of projects ever since. It works by shooting a bunch of infrared light against you, and then the reflection and the time it receives it back is how it measures depth. So yeah, it works completely in the dark, and it's great for nighttime like interactive installations. And it's all 3D too, so you can see yourself in different angles. And this is it with infrared, so that's why I'm mapping it to that. But yeah. And yes?
So in the second project, how was the Kinect used? The one with the dance?
Yeah, the one with the dancer, let me just turn that on.
Can you perform, please?
I will not, sadly. But I have some practice footage of the person who did. So, is it running? No, it's not. There we go. So the dancer would pretty much like move according to the song and then dance and have these particles come off their hands. It was really cool to see that live, and the way we projected it at the venue, we had the Kinect mounted on the roof pointing down at them, so we had to rotate all the visuals back up to eye level. But it was cool seeing like people like, where's this person coming from? Like, oh wait, is this a recording of the person, or this a live actually doing it in real life? And yeah, having that kind of mystery and wonder, inspiring the audience and stuff was really unique. But yeah, that's how it works pretty much.
So cool. I got a question about the, this is like a technical question about the pop setup for all those icons.
For Waves, yeah.
Yeah. How does that data come in? Is it like a chop or is it like a
Replicator.
It's a replicator.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's using a replicator for, and then it's mapping each of those icons from the replicator onto the thing. It's like kind of what we did for the IM4 mural.
Okay.
Yeah, for all those bubbles, but yeah. So yeah, that's some cool projects. Use Pops, use TouchDesigner. It's a great program. Please learn it. Thank you.
Can you leave it set up?
Yeah, this is
We got one more presentation. Whoa. Okay, so I'll keep this pretty short just because I'm the last one. It'd be nice to just hang out and eat Doritos. Did you bring enough for everybody? No? Okay, never mind. So my name is Johnny. I run ZSpace. We've been around for 11 years now, which is wild. And it's really grown a lot, and a bunch of the new members have really helped out a bunch. And Ian's like a great example of that, who has been just like stepping up and doing things like live streaming. So just want to thank you. So today I'm going to talk about some experiments. I usually have a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of it nowadays evolves around social media. Do you guys like social media? And it seems like we don't like social media. Sorry. Which one did you like? Facebook groups. Okay. If we have enough votes in the room right now, we can go back to Facebook groups. 3, 2, 1, hands up for the. I guess we're not. Yeah. I am an extroverted person who is obsessed with computers, so I spend an enormous amount of time on my computer, and I really want to socialize with people, and I can't usually because I find that the forms that we can are limited. So I always end up being in Discords and sending a bunch of stuff and all that, and nowadays the ones that most people are using are Instagram and Twitter. And both of them really drive me crazy right now because first it was just that I'm not in control of what I'm seeing, and a lot of it's ads, and we only have a couple ways. Like I can either talk to everybody on the internet at once, or I can send you a direct message, and those just don't seem like enough for me. The second thing is the algorithm. The fact that that's kind of controlling our attention, actually, I think is affecting my mental health and affecting a lot of people's mental health nowadays. So, raise your hand if you've heard of Blue Sky. Have you? Nice. Raise your hand if you've been involved in a Blue Sky event recently. That's right. So there was a conference here recently called Atmosphere Conference, and it's about Blue Sky, which is basically a Twitter, in a way it's a Twitter clone. I think some people would get mad at me for saying that. But using something called AT-Proto. And AT-Proto, as I understand it, is kind of like a user account that you can use in a new ecosystem of future apps. So it's almost like if you could use your Instagram account to log into any website anywhere, and it was actually, your account was owned by you and not by Meta. So it's pretty profound. But I actually don't really like Blue Sky either. And I think the reason is because I don't like scrolling. This is an old experience to me. And I also am kind of getting Twitter flashbacks here. And it's like, I've been on this platform before. There's people that say mean things. So anyway, a lot of what I do nowadays is I build experiments about new interfaces that get past this stuff. So one I'm working on is called cloud.cloud. And I won't show too much of it, but this is what the friend list looks like. It's like everything is bubbles, and you can move through a cloud of different images in different ways. But I also just kind of make these experiments with interfaces, and I've recently on my website put up an interface experimentation page. And I've been using this thing called Semble. Semble is AT-Proto. It's a way of you can publish things, but you can also publish connections between things. So if Greg posts something really cool, I could be like, oh, this is really related to this other thing. And I can kind of click them together, and you can make webs. And the actual website's very, there you go. It's still more cards and feeds and stuff. That's just not how my brain works. So I used AI to build this. Will it work? Nice. So, so this is, as you guys have probably seen, can you hear the audio? Okay. So it's a force-directed graph, but I added a bunch of features. First is audio. So it needs to be louder. Try not to blast you guys. Okay, so it's got these like clicks to it. Okay, this is my friend Poria, who might be watching right now. Oh, digital art. I like digital art. Oh, that's nice. So it kind of creates these, it makes the act of exploring, you're moving through hierarchies, but you're also getting a little bit of dopamine, which is nice. User interfaces, nice. Okay, I can also do things like expand all the descendants. And it's, usually I don't really like these kind of interfaces because it's too much information, or it makes information look pretty but not necessarily more useful. So I'm trying to deal with these questions as I'm kind of examining. I also really like this little dot that's hovering around, which is kind of like a focus sprite. It's kind of adding a little bit of like magical Miyazaki kind of better. Does anyone else have an account? Do you have an account?
Yep.
Do you want to tell me, or would you like to be in the demo?
Sure. It's roguewave.design.
Roguewave.design?
Yeah.
That's a really cool name. Boom. Wait, oh, you've never used symbols, so you don't have anything, do you? Okay. Okay, I'll add someone else, no worries. I'll also add myself, johnny.z_.ca. Cool. So now I can kind of like compare these two people. There's also a good friend of mine, Boris Mann. Ta-da. Okay, so now, to me, there's just so much you could do with this. And I can expand them all, and you can kind of see, this is like our network of data. I can change a bunch of things like the volume and dot size and all that. So that's one example of the kind of stuff that I do in my free time. I build stuff like this, constantly thinking about how the internet could be so much cooler than it is right now. I'm obsessed with these things called siphonophores. Siphonophore, which are these like groups of these like animals that are both individuals and groups, and they come together and one of them says, "Oh, I want to do this job," and another one says, "I want to do this job," and they become like a large body together. And I could see humans doing that. Anyway, I'm kind of going all over the place now, so I'm going to cut off this part and talk about what I really want to talk about, which is something in TouchDesigner. So I don't like these interfaces, as I mentioned. One of the coolest things about AT Proto is that you can actually make your own. And so today, with much fanfare, I'm releasing the first TouchDesigner AT Proto B-Sky client that I'm calling Skywave. So Skywave is a TouchDesigner. This is the first prototype, but this is B-Sky in TouchDesigner. So I know it's kind of hard to tell, and you know, it looks very TouchDesigner, but this is just version 1. But you can do cool things, like you can scribble on your timeline. And to me, it's almost like Winamp. Does anyone here know what Winamp is, or have you used Winamp? So Winamp, there was this thing where everyone could build their own skins. Winamp skins. And you get these really bizarre ones. This is the kind of stuff that people would make. Oh my goodness. I should find this out. Anyway, so any kind of mood or any kind of person that you are, you can get this like bizarre alien-looking interface. And so now I'm like, well, if we build it in TouchDesigner, then every single person in this room can make their interface different and how they want. You can also update and post to B-Sky as much as you want. So one of the first things I did to be extra annoying was I decided I wanted to change my username every 0.5 seconds. So if you go on my B-Sky account, you can see, oh, it's updating so fast that it's not even syncing between my posts and that. I should. Come on, change again. Anyway, I'll just keep going. So this is version 1. Oh, just changed. There we go. Nice. So this is version 1, and I'll just go to version 2 now. I'm going to close this. Version 2 is a bit tighter. Let's Skywave. Make sure it's running. Oh, sorry guys. So one of the things you can do, is that okay? Maybe a little less, sorry. Is you can just do whatever you want, right? So in this case, I have the timeline here on the right. This is my friend line. This is my friend Boris. I can hit populate friend posts, and then hopefully this should update, and you'll see he posts a lot. So I'm actually just going to turn that audio off. My timeline, the group timeline, and all that. And I've also, just for fun, added this thing where mousing over a post brings up the image. And just because I could, I added a little like fade up, like that. That's the kind of detail that you can add on your own interface that no boardroom full of UX, UI designers are going to give you. No one's going to give me the sonar beat. So to me, this is like a very profound moment where I can change the environment of my social media entirely up to me. Okay, so what else? I'm just going to do a couple more things. I'm going to prove it works. This right here. Let's see if I have any good images. Here's one. Drag that onto, so I should be able to drag this into here, and it should pick it up. Please pick up. Oh, you know what? It's a WebP, that's why. PNG. There we go. I feel like we need a better image than that. It's okay. I won't fret about it. How about this one? Okay, so drag and drop interface. It's here, and then I can say, Vancouver. Vancouver. It's history. That seems a bit foreboding. Okay, so, and then I'll just post with image. And you see up here in the upper left, there should be an update that happens. I'll try just posting a message too. Hee hee. Okay, let's see if it worked. This is not as smooth as I thought. I was imagining in my mind. There we go. It didn't work. Oh, it's because I was paused. That's funny. Okay. Vancouver. It's cool history. There we go. All right. Please work. It says operation already running. I don't know if that's good or not. Oh, he came through. Nice. I'm just going to do a bunch. I don't care. Okay, so that hopefully works. Okay, come on. This is definitely not main stage material yet. Sorry, guys. Let me try clear busy, post with image. Did it post like 10 times? Oh, I did. So, yeah, there we go. There's the, yeah, nice. Wow. Vancouver, it's cool history. Great. So obviously it could be used for spam bots, which is troubling. But at the same time, it's amazing that I can just make things in TouchDesigner. And so let me do one more thing. I'm going to post a video. So I made this little thing. I've got a live feed like that of this. I don't know if anyone else wants to be part of this moment. You can come up here. We're just going to be on this little, I'm just going to record a little bit from here. Do we have any brave people? Nice. Okay. Ready? Just us? Really? Anyone? Okay. Okay. This is history. This is cool history. Okay. Huh? Oh, it's over there. Yeah. Okay. So I'll hit record. Nice. Okay. All right. So it just recorded, and if it was successful, there you go. Okay. And now I'm going to go back. This will be a lot better later, guys. I promise. I'm just going to keep the Vancouver It's Cool history post video. Please work. It says success. Maybe that worked. Please. Isn't that crazy? So cool. so much stuff you could do with this. I'm going to add it to the guest book, and I could imagine mounting a camera on the ceiling and being able to basically just hit a button and capture something that you're working on directly to social media. And of course, you can pick up other people's stuff. And that looks like this. So basically, the timeline is just a table. And these are the links to all the images. And so that thing that Jason showed with the wave and all those images, the reason I asked about how that was made is because you could easily take your whole timeline and make it into something like that. And then your friends are like a landscape of images. All right, that's it. That's all I'm going to share. Thank you very much. Any questions? How do you join it? Well, so you can make an account on B-Sky, like that. Cloud? Oh boy, you'd have to get a really exclusive invite from somebody. If I told you, then you could find the site. You gotta watch the live stream preview or whatever. I'll tell you a bit later, yeah. But yeah, I'll be launching it soon, hopefully. Anything else? Any other questions? Jason.
On the images that you scan your feed, like stream directly into TouchDesigner and not stored locally?
That's a great question. So the first time I did it, I basically built a replicator that was saving all of it to my computer, which is weird because then you're scrolling through a feed and it's saving everything from the feed on. So what it does now is, the way I do the display of the images like that, is I just have this, which is pulling the CDN link and then loading it into a movie file viewer. So only the one that you are examining is actually loading, and it's just temporary. Yeah, I didn't know that either. You can actually load resources from web locations, which is really cool.
Would this change how you browse as well? Like if someone's a lurker, they hardly post. How would they use your tool?
If they're a lurker, oh yeah, totally. So maybe we'll go back to the original like this. So this had a feature here where you can search by different, like by queries. So I searched for "I'm so happy" and got all these results. I'm so happy for you, congrats. So this is the kind of stuff that people do with the Twitter API, but they have to be developers to get access. But in this way, people, like any TouchDesigner user, can just basically grab whatever. Does that answer your question? You can have custom queries, and because this is just one thing, but you could build a cloud of it. You could say, I want to watch these 10 different special words and have it build whatever. I feel like that gave me an idea and then I forgot about it, so. Yeah?
Love this. Love the sound effects so much. They definitely put dopamine in my system.
Right, yeah.
Is there, like, theoretically a way that you could access your preferred interface from not within TouchDesigner? Is there a way to get it out of there?
Not really, not in the way it's built here. That's one of the limitations of TouchDesigner in general, is that you can't publish it to a web interface. Well, I mean, I guess you could use TouchDesigner to host a web page and then access it through a proxy, but not anything that any normal user would want to do. Yeah, TouchDesigner is very much built to have a single license on a single computer. It's for installs and stuff. But the cool thing is that TouchDesigner is really huge, and I think has like TouchDesigner. Oh, hopefully my search history doesn't come up and it's not bad. Designer. Yeah. So 450,000 people using it. It's one of the most popular node-based programming programs in the world. So, and it's really good for learning. So I feel like it's a good gateway to more users.
You can't export it as an exe, as an executable or something like that.
You can't, no. That'd be really nice, right? Mm-hmm. Well, now that,
Sorry.
go ahead.
How do you typically share what you're working on? Is it just screen recording?
That's a good question. I mean, let's look at the Discord. So, yeah, here's the TouchDesigner Discord, share work. Greg shared something really cool. They're mostly videos, right? And videos and images. We also have people do share talks on occasion, which is basically you could save the file and people can drag it into their own. In this case, I put it on. Oh yeah, there it is. Nice, it's official. I've now shared the GitHub. But yeah, there's not a good way to make it portable.
Tanish says, I've used Twitter's API a few years ago, and it was sad.
It was sad. Can you elaborate? What made it sad? He's probably saying it's sad because, well, first off, you can get a lot of insight on how people in general are feeling, and also it's just hard to get into the API sometimes if you're just a normal user. Anyway, I feel like I've been talking too long. Thank you so much, and now we can just hang out for another half an hour or whatever and listen to music and drink bubbly, and I think Jason's gonna boot the thing up again. Nice. Okay, thanks everyone. Skywave.